Nuclear Revenge, entitled "Engineer Makes a Mistake He Will Regret the Rest of His Life." The Peasant King M13D. This is a story that I thankfully didn't witness, but my co-worker did. An engineer relocated with his wife to a small town while he supervised a local engineering project. He had 3 daughters who lived in the neighboring city and would visit him constantly. While he wasn't exactly rich, he was considerably wealthier than the average habitant of this little town. This made him and his wife extremely entitled. He would do as he pleased and then bribe the police to avoid repercussions. He made himself infamous for cheating on his wife constantly. One day, he laid his eyes on a local 18-year-old girl. The girl didn't like him back, so she rejected him. One day, he got drunk and raped the poor girl. He hurt her so bad, the girl was left in a wheelchair for life. The girl's father tried to bring him to justice, but the engineer used whatever money he had to bribe the police. What not many people knew is that the girl's uncle was a local drug lord. The father and the uncle hadn't spoken for years, and the girl hadn't even met her uncle. But when the drug lord learned what happened to his niece, he decided he would have his revenge. A few weeks later, my co-worker was working as a gardener for the engineer, when the cries of young women caught everyone's attention. Outside the engineer's house were the drug lord's men, who had captured the engineer's daughters. In front of the engineer and his wife, the men used machetes to cut the daughters' legs. There was blood everywhere, but the worst was the cries of the 3 women. They were rushed to the hospital, but 2 of them bled to death on the way, while the 3rd one was left, obviously, wheelchair-bound for life. While my co-worker has since left his town, he says people told him the engineer's wife hasn't said a single word since that day. Edit. People have asked me for news coverage of this event. This story happened during the opening years of the war on drugs in northwestern Mexico, a time where both the government and the drug lords, they're usually the same people, by the way, did everything within their power to keep news like this from being published. I will try to find some, and ask my co-worker, but I can't promise anything.